Welcome to Corpse Club, the official podcast of DailyDead.com. I'm one of your co-hosts, Jonathan James, and I'm joined today by Derek Anderson, Scott Drebit, and Tamika Jones. She's back. Welcome back, Tamika. We missed you.
I miss you.
I'm so happy to have you here. I'm so happy to have you here, Scott, for a bit. Derek, I'm happy to have you as well, but we've been talking for quite a bit. We've got a couple episodes in, so I'm happy to see you.
I miss all of you.
But not as much as Scott and Tamika. Especially Tamika, because it's been a bit, so we miss you.
Especially Tamika. Mm-hmm. That's fine.
Especially Tamika.
She is much prettier, and smarter.
Thank you, Scotty Poo.
You're welcome.
And even then, she still calls you Scotty Poo.
She still calls me Scott. I can't get her to sway on that at all. That's all right. That's okay.
Yeah. And so if you're listening to this at the time we're recording it, and you are at the time after we record it, and you have to, because otherwise, you'd be here with us. For you, it is early October. For us, not there yet. But, some people start their spooky season at a different time. For some people, the Halloween season starts. Sometimes it's all year round. Sometimes it is in September or in August. But I think we can all agree that October 1st is a good time for the majority of people to start their Halloweening. So we're going to start by talking about what Halloween plans everyone has. We're going to follow up for our annual Halloween hangover in November, see how we survived, see what we did, see if we had a good time. But I will go first and talk about some of my Halloween plans, and we'll see what becomes of them. I am planning right now to go to New York Comic Con next week, actually. And and you might be like, how's that horror related? But there are a ton of horror comic books. I'm so excited. So I'll be going there. There's going to be a Chucky panel, Walking Dead panel. There's going to be a lot of good stuff. So there are plenty of things for horror fans there. I'll be checking out other stuff as well, but that'll be kind of my first big thing. I haven't been to New York City in 2+ years, so I'm excited to go back. The event is fully masked. Very happy about that. So Christy and I will be doing that, and then I'm taking a little time off. My birthday's coming up. I always take a little time off. So I'll be taking a week off in the middle of October, getting a little rest and relaxation during our busiest month of the year.
What day exactly are you going to take off, Jonathan?
I don't know. It might be October the 10th, 10/10. So I always take a little time off.
So you're going to this, if I may ask, you're going to this, you said the New York Comic Con?
That is true, yes.
And is there any specific reason why you would be going there? I can think of one. I've seen some of your comic book writing, as it were, in a comic called Hellraiser, yes. Hellraiser.
It is a tongue twister. I even say Hellraiser sometimes.
And it's a wonderful comic, and I hope people get a chance to check it, and that it's leading to even more cool shit.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, we will be timed with New York Comic Con. We will be giving away a PDF copy of Hellraiser 0. And why would it be 0? We wouldn't have anything else planned. Oliver and I do have some plans for the rest of the story for anyone who's already read it. So hopefully we'll be making some stuff happen at New York Comic Con and after that. And we'll see where it goes from there. But that is definitely one of the big reasons to be at Comic Con this year. And I'll go around the room a little bit. I have some other things going on, but Derek, I see you. It looks like you're ready. You're excited. What's going on? What do you have this October that you're looking forward to?
Well, there's, in addition to all the wonderful films and TV shows coming out, which it feels like this fall there's more than ever before, which is really saying something, given how many have come out in recent years. There's a lot of fun Halloween activities and fall events that are happening amongst our friends here in Minnesota. We're still finalizing some Halloween stuff on our end, so we're still figuring out this and that. But One of my friends, Zach and Sarah, they every year do something called Soupfest, which they've hosted at their house the last couple of years. And it's basically like a Super Bowl for soups. It's like a really fun event where everyone comes and you make a soup from scratch. I mean, hopefully not just, pouring the Campbell's can in there. Hopefully, you bring your own flair to it. And so everyone brings like their own soup, and you have your ladle, and you basically, and also presentation is part of this too. So you can have a theme with your soup. You have like a table space where you can decorate if you want to do something horror themed or, tropical or whatever you want to do. You can decorate your table and tie it all together with the soup flavor. And then everyone goes around at a certain point and judges your soup based on the taste and on the presentation and the uniqueness of it. And basically, at the end of the day, you have eaten a lot of great soup, and there is a couple of winners who are declared, and it's all part of Soupfest. So that is something that is going on this October, which is always just a good get together in the fall. So that was always a good time.
So where does it take place again?
So this is at my friends Zach and Sarah, who Zach I've mentioned quite a bit on the podcast. He was a fellow Tuesday movie man who I had a blog with in past years, and
Right.
Both of them are avid Corpse Club listeners. So shout out to both of you for being
I was
so
going to
awesome.
say hello. Yeah.
Hey.
I do have to say that Derek had mentioned Soupfest earlier, and I'm like, let's save this. I want to know what Soupfest is on the episode. I was expecting it to be maybe like the Great Minnesota Soupfest, where it's like a gathering of soup professionals from around the world. And that's what I had imagined. I honestly, though,
Is that a
think
real
that this
thing?
but I think this is the start of it. I think this is the Great Minnesota Soup Fest, which is probably what you may want to update the name to, because it sounds awesome.
Okay.
This is definitely something that my family would do if we had the idea, or if I could cook anything.
Yes.
I
Okay.
can't.
So you don't make the soups at your friend's house. You have to prepare it beforehand and then show up with your soup, right?
Yep, that is correct.
Otherwise,
Yep, you make, and that's half the fun too, is transporting hot soup in a vehicle and trying not to spill it all over your lap.
Does everybody bring? I have so many questions now, because now I'm excited about this. Might be a Soup Fest episode. Does everybody bring their own things to dip in the soup? So do you bring your own bread? Does somebody else maybe bring crackers? Or is there a mix of dipping food that's provided for everybody?
There's definitely food provided. As far as the soup goes, if you want some kind of companion food with your soup based on enhancing the flavor or just taste better with it, you can certainly have that with your soup. But otherwise, it's there's different disposable cups and bowls that you kind of just go around, and you pour yourself however much you want of each soup, enough to give it a fair sample. And then you can, so if you do want something like that, if you're oh, this really goes good with pumpkin bread or something specific like that, you can definitely have that with it. But otherwise it's really the soup is judged really on its own, as far as it has to stand on its own, and it can't really have too many, it can't be more the bread or something like that that's going to make it so it's a lot of pressure on the soup itself, but that's part of the fun.
Tamika, what do you got?
I see the god of horror. I see the god of horror standing on a tower right now, about to jump off to his death.
What if you bring a chili?
I think,
because isn't chili a soup too? No. Oh my God.
That's a great question.
Yeah, I don't have the answer.
That is
chili's included?
I believe now. See, so Soupfest has been going on for a very, very long time. It used to take place in North Dakota, but it recently has taken place here in the Twin Cities. And I've only been there. Last year was my first year, so that I'm still kind of a newbie to the whole Soupfest world.
Are we allowed to
But-
talk about this, or was it like a secret that now is like
It's like Fight Club or
open to?
something?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, when he said he's new to this, so I'm like, are you supposed to talk about this?
Is it the Illuminati?
There's a password to get in.
Yeah, it is kind of like an underground world. I feel like I maybe have overstepped, because I am such a newbie. Maybe I've revoked my membership.
How many years back does this go? Even though you're a year one member, year two now.
Zach's family had done it for at least, I would say, 15 to 20 years prior to this. I mean, it definitely has been going on for a long time. It might even, I believe it's.
You guys make it sound like this is a true crime show or something.
We take this seriously.
It's been going on for 15 years. Jonathan's trying to uncover some kind of conspiracy.
They don't want you to know about it, but it's there, man.
Yeah. What else is it? It's not just soup.
It's not just soup. It's not
So
just chili. Secrets to meat.
And it's the perfect time of year for it because it's something that you can still have outdoors, and it's like the perfect temperature outside where you want hot soup. So it really is just perfect for the Halloween season. And like Sarah especially is a really big horror fan, so it's kind of it's always got like a little bit of a Halloween vibe anyway, so it's just perfect for the season. And I just like eating soup too. So I mean, you don't even have to really bring your own recipe. Like you could just come and eat all the soup if you want.
This is so fascinating. I could dedicate this episode to. I have so many questions. What do you? So you said there are multiple winners. Are there prizes? Do they keep track of past year's winners?
Yes. Yeah. There's some really good record keeping where you can see who won in the past, at least in recent years.
How much record keeping do you have to do?
No, this goes back 15 to 20 years. I am loving this right now. I wish our listeners could see my face right now. I'm like really into this.
But hold on, for every year it's there's one category, best soup.
No, there might not be. He said there's multiple winners. Look at his face.
There's best soup, and this is like everyone has a group vote where you write down what you vote for based on different categories. But there's best soup, there's best presentation, so you can really go all in on that if you want to get best presentation. And then there's there's like most unique soup, or most like it's something along those lines of uniqueness. And sorry, Zach and Sarah, if I'm getting this totally wrong, but I know that there is like a unique category. So if you do a soup that's like really out there as far as the flavor profile, maybe it's like a dessert soup where it's like all chocolate. Maybe it's just a totally out there, like really just different soup. You can win that category. So, and I believe there's like a runner up too. So, I mean, there's definitely like different strategies that you can go with.
That's great.
If I throw my hat in the ring this year, I do have something special planned kind of based on the uniqueness, where it was a recipe that my grandma had.
If I could make a...
See, there you interrupted him. He was talking about his grandma's recipe.
But no, it's cool. There's a lot of things to think about. It's one of those things where I guess I never realized like how like much goes into it, but like the more I talk about it, it is pretty fascinating. And like how I have thought about it a lot over the past year, as far as like, okay, if I do this again, what am I going to do? How will I approach it? And last year I did a beer cheese soup. So I even got to pour like a bottle of beer in it, and it was a gluten-free beer too. So I was really, going out there with it. And that it took a long time to make. It probably took like 7 or 8 hours to make. So that was like the first soup I'd ever made. And it was, it ended up being a little more spicy than I expected. So, but I like spicy. Not in a bad way.
No, I like spicy. Yeah.
Same.
I just
there's a lot of different strategies.
So I'm really liking this. I thought there was going to be like not much to this, and now I'm all in. I want to open a New York chapter, and I also feel like it's something really cool for the Halloween season, because you can always, like I said, you can do spooky soup. So I like it.
Mm-hmm.
But if we keep talking about soup for the entire episode, I honestly don't know if our listeners will kill us because I think they're in on this too. I think Scott might. So Tamika, what do you have going on? I know that you had, I think there were some screenings you were going to attend. What do you have planned for this October?
Oh, yes. Okay. So this is not like, an ad or anything, but I was just on Instagram the other day on Cavity Colors Instagram the other day, and they mentioned that Trick or Treat, one of my favorites. Oh, I love that movie, is playing in theaters. But so I looked into it, and it seems to be only October 2nd through the 4th, I believe, possibly the 5th. And then that's it. And I just knew that, like, because I'm from a small town, so I didn't really expect it to be playing near me. It is shockingly playing near me. I'm so
Nice.
excited.
That's awesome.
I heard the
Yeah.
announcement not too long ago, and obviously, like, it's notorious that like Warner Brothers skipped bringing this movie to theaters, and it was just dropped off to DVD and I believe Blu-ray, and it was just it was a cult movie for the longest time. I mean, it still is, but so it's cool to see it hitting the big screen. And so you're going. Tickets are secured. Couldn't say.
Yes, I'm so excited. Like, oh, and it's actually, I don't want to say the area just in case, for my own,
For your own
not that I-
safety, I would do it. I don't tell people where I am. I've said it so many times. So.
Not that listeners, not that I don't love and trust you, but I'm just saying, may not say that.
Yeah.
But the theater it's like new because they remodeled it. So now it has like the reclining seats and they serve like really good gourmet food.
No, that's nice.
I'm so excited.
Cool.
Yeah. And then I just feel kind of like bad because normally by now I've already had a Halloween costume planned because I have two costumes. I have one for when I pass out candy to the kids in my neighborhood with my mom. It's like kind of a tradition at this point. And then I have a costume that I wear to my friend's Halloween party. It's called the Dredmonson's Family Reunion. I know, because we're all family, so I think that's why it's called that. And it's the weekend after Halloween. So I haven't, I don't know what I'm going to be. Either way, I don't have any costume ideas. I'm distraught.
Yeah, I'm stuck on Halloween costume ideas because this theme. So I have a young nephew. He's a year old. He loves Disney. So I was like, okay, so for this theme, we'll do Disney. So our family has to pick something that's Disney related. Thankfully, that gives me like a little bit of a spread because I got Marvel. I got I have what do you call Star Wars. That's what it's called, that little thing called Star Wars. And but I also have Fox, so I also have Pinhead, a new Hellraiser movie. But I was trying to figure something that I could use because my hair. I was like, well, what can I do with long hair? And I did Loki last year. I'm actually thinking about She-Hulk this year. So there's a strong possibility.
That's cool.
She-Hulk attorney at law.
Attorney at law, yes.
Nice.
Get the green contacts and that should be
So are
pretty
you
good.
gonna paint your whole self green?
Yeah, mostly. I think that's what it's gonna be.
Nice.
Nice.
I wish I could do body makeup, but my skin's like really sensitive, now, and that would break me out so bad.
Yeah. I mean, this would be I usually don't have a lot of makeup on, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I will get some help. I won't be able to do it myself.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, no. Oh, that's exciting. So wait, it's like, does everybody else know what they're gonna be? Or is it just me? Like what they're gonna like?
Derek, do you have a costume, Scott?
That is a good question. I it depends like on the year because I generally just have the same like box of like the Michael Myers mask, the Jason mask, or like my zombie prom bloody tuxedo or something like that.
Always a classic.
Yeah. So I'll usually just kind of like recycle what I've done in the past, just like for handing out candy, and then My cousins Gunnar and Kate, they always come over every year, and they have a new costume every year. So I'm excited to see what they're going to go as this year. So yeah, I guess unless I end up going to if I go to like a costume party or like a haunted attraction and I want to like spice it up and do something different. Otherwise, I guess I'll have to I just kind of like dig through whatever's in the attic and see what I can come up with. But otherwise, I'll just be scary as myself.
Okay. I feel better about it.
Scott, how about you?
I'm going to go as Lindsay Wallace, Goth Queen. I'm going to go as Lindsay Wallace, Goth Queen.
Is this a reference to the new Halloween movie?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
You see, yeah. Derek knew right away. And I'm just like, what? Halloween franchise? What?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah. Very
I'm
excited.
just trying to picture it, like.
Oh, don't picture it. It's much worse than anything you could imagine. Trust me.
Hey,
I
4 years
promise
have passed. Anything could happen in 4 years since the last movie.
I mean, it's only been 2.5, and I look drastically different.
I am no Kyle Richards. Let me tell you what. I'm not even any Kim Richards. I'll tell you what.
It could be. I believe
That's for the Beverly Hills Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Fam out there. Represent.
And Tamika, I almost forgot. There is also another screening you want to keep your eyes out for in October, in late October. I don't have the date, but I know it's in late October. It's in the 20s, and it's Dawn of the Dead in 3D. So the original Romero movie. It's been converted to 3D. It's a 4K restoration, I believe, and it's in 3D. So I heard some people who had seen the trailer. They said it looked really good, including in 3D. Because like, how's this going to work? And Heather said it looked good, and I trust Heather. So you may want to see if you can score tickets to that as well. And if you got Trick or Treat, you'll probably have Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, for sure. Okay, I'm Googling.
Yeah, didn't they try to do this a few years back?
I think it's the same. It's probably
like
the same thing, but this is a wider just distribution.
Gotcha. Okay.
I assume it's gonna hit 4K in the US eventually, because they did a UK 4K. But I assume this one.
I'm sure we won't get it up here. Why would we? Hey, we couldn't even get the Munsters on Netflix Canada. Okay.
And I knew you were going to complain about it because that was the only topic you had. It was
the only, and it took it, and Netflix Canada took my topic away from me.
They did. Now you got nothing besides complaining about Netflix Canada.
Except complaining about Netflix Canada and soup.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the soup part has been my favorite part of this conversation. It was unexpected. I have so many questions. Yeah.
What about, is there different categories, like a creamy soup or like more of a broth, like a clear soup? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, like the texture, the thickness and everything.
Like a creamy one as opposed to like a consomme, right?
Or a cold soup.
Or a cold soup too.
Yeah.
Right.
That would definitely do well in the unique category.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, the creaminess, the texture, that all is just part of winning the best soup categories. So maybe as years go on, there will be other categories that will branch off.
Creamy soups.
I have more. Who is the judge of the soup? I mean, this goes back 15 to 20 years. Does it rotate? Are there guest judges? Is the previous winner the judge of the next year?
As far as I remember, it's like everybody is a judge because you're all voting. So it's kind of like an audience type of voting.
Oh,
technique.
I gotcha.
So there is I think everyone has like that equal vote, and you write it down, and then it's it goes into a secure location where all the votes are tallied.
Yeah, so there's no Oscar type shenanigans.
All right.
Exactly. Yeah. So you don't want to have a last minute mix up like that. So as far as I remember, I mean, obviously the previous year's winner does have a lot of prestige, and they are recognized as having, those bragging rights, and you have to, show that respect, of course, like, oh, wow, that's not an easy task to do.
It's like
So
a
you
World
definitely
Series of
will
poker winner
care.
that there's a little
Mhm.
there's a little like you have nerves going up against the regular winners.
Oh yeah. Like if your soup is next to last year's winner on the table,
You're a little
you
worried.
can't help.
There's a
but,
little sweat.
Yeah, you might want to like move down a couple spaces just in case, so you're not like the one that people taste after that one. So
Yeah.
there's a lot to think about.
We could
This could be
podcast about just this.
The Soupfest spinoff.
Yeah.
Get Zach and Sarah will let us know what you think.
Yeah. Well, I am worried that if we don't switch topics again, we will stay on soup. And but
We
you know
circle
what?
back around.
Yeah, but Scott can't really participate in this next topic only. So whether it's soup or whether it's Don't Worry, Darling, like it probably doesn't matter much to him. But Derek and Tamika, I know that you both saw Don't Worry, Darling. I only know about all of the endless, it's not buzz, I don't know what to call it, the viral sensation that the lead up to Don't Worry, Darling has been.
The shenanigans.
Yeah, that's all I really know. I have not seen the trailer. And so now that the movie's out, Tamika, what did you think? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Somewhere in the middle?
Okay. I'm somewhere in the middle. Somewhere in the middle because I think that it's well shot. It's so beautiful. I don't know if that's a spoiler. I don't know if that's a spoiler or not.
That it's well
beautiful.
shot? No, you like spoilers are fine.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Like it's especially the cinematography. It's like this, like I'm not the most like well versed on like all of the like the technical jargon, but it's just so beautiful to watch. And there's like that like soft kind of like lens. It's like everything is like so soft, and it's supposed to, I guess, be the world is supposed to be what the fifth. This is like the mid 50s.
Yeah,
Like,
it definitely has like that vibe
for the
to
time period. Oh, okay. So that definitely tracks. And I thought that with like Florence Pugh, especially, I just like her. She's such a good actress. Really.
Yeah, she's great.
It's like, she's the person to watch if you're going to go and see this movie. And I appreciate what it's trying to do and trying to say. But I will always and forever think that the Stepford Wives, like the original Stepford Wives, I think 74?
It is the 70s. It might be 74. I don't remember the exact date. I would guess 76 now that we're betting.
Yeah, like somewhere.
Scott, what do you got? Oh, Scott.
I'd go somewhere in the middle.
75.
75.
Okay.
See?
Derek, I know you're searching. Original Stepford Wives. What is it?
All right. It is 1975.
Ooh, Scott got us.
I get the luggage.
I was like,
with the book being released in 1972.
Okay.
I get the Samsonite. Sweet.
Yeah, I appreciate the patriarchy is trash theme. I appreciate that. But it just gets I think it kind of loses its own plot towards the end. But there's, some really great imagery. It's kind of got like a good A24 vibe to it. I love that. It's like kind of weird. Like, what is going on here?
How's Harry Styles?
I love Florence Pugh, but yeah, I mean, he's not bad because I remember he was in Dunkirk. Remember the Christopher Nolan film Dunkirk? He's not a bad actor. He's not, but I could kind of take that or leave that. But yeah, I'm kind of in the middle. Like it's not, it's a rental. I would totally rent it. It's not fully a theater experience.
It's definitely different when you pay like $20 versus like having it free on streaming.
Exactly. Or like, $4 or something like that. It changes the experience. You're right about that.
Now, Derek, you just saw it. Like literally, you showed us your ticket. Like you just got back.
Did.
So with it being as fresh as possible in your mind, like could not be any more fresh. What do you think?
Yeah, it's so fresh that I was actually late to our recording because I was stuck behind a train on the way back from the theater. And I'm actually drinking from the cup that I had at the theater. So that was, it's very fresh, but it was me and two other people in the theater. So it was, almost like having the room to myself, but understandably, that's not a reflection on how well the movie's doing. It's actually doing pretty well at the box office, it seems like. But I think I enjoyed it a little bit more than Tamika, but I definitely agree with everything you're saying, Tamika, about it kind of gets almost a little lost in the narrative. Like it almost, at a certain point, it almost doesn't seem to know what to do. And then it takes like a really interesting left turn, but then it's almost like the road's almost gone at that point. Like the movie is almost over. So I kind of actually wish that, in a weird way, I almost wish the movie was longer based on like some of the stuff that happened in the third act. Cause I'm like, oh, I would have loved to have seen some more of that. Cause I was kind of like, oh, it ended a little too soon for me. And I feel like it actually would have worked even better as a mini series. Like there's so many layers to this and side characters that they could have explored more that you only kind of get glimpses of. I feel like it really would have been great as like a 6-episode like limited series on a streaming service. I don't know. I feel because I kind of got so many like vibes of, oh, I want to see more of this or that. But you're right, Tamika. Florence Pugh is amazing. Like she definitely is the right person for this role. She is always fascinating to watch and the perfect person to play this character. And of course, you can't not compare it to the Stepford Wives because I think it's borrowing a lot from the Stepford Wives. I think it's aware of that, but it's almost like it's definitely a companion to that. There's no denying it. And also I would say the Bob Balaban movie Parents from 1989, just that whole like 50s aesthetic. There's definitely a lot of influences that I think it wears on its sleeve, and it might wear them a little too much, like where it really borrows from it in certain areas. But at the end of the day, I think it does do some interesting things. I just wish that we had seen more of that. Like I feel like they could have maybe just explored some things earlier on in the movie that we only kind of get to see a little bit later on. So without giving too much away, but I enjoyed the ride. And like Tamika said, it's gorgeously shot. The production design, the cinematography, it's like a slice of like 50s Americana. Like it's very sleek, polished, sunny, like almost too like something. It looks so great that you're like, okay, something really sinister has to be going on.
Yeah, it's off. You're right. That's true.
My understanding was that Harry Styles spit a mouthful of clam chowder into Chris Pine's hand at the Venice Film Festival, but
it was part of their soup festival. That was part of it. It was just like, that's how they do it. Everybody was really pissed about it, but Chris Pine knew it was part of the soup festival. Hello. Like, that like you're a member. It's a little the soup spit.
Oh, God.
I like it. It's like a secret handshake. Yeah.
That's how you greet one another.
Yeah.
When entering Soupfest.
When that I was trying to explain to Christy everything that had happened because she had been offline for a little bit, and I just like
to get to that point.
Let me start from the beginning. And it's so weird. I mean, it's I said that I don't know what really happened in a lot of these stories, because a lot of it too is rumor. The spit is based on what you can see in that video, I guess, but it doesn't look like he spit on him. Maybe some soup, but not spit. But it's funny how like being a celebrity now is very different from being a celebrity 20 years ago, where like
tell me about it.
everything is scrutinized. Everything you say, the look of your co-stars while you're talking during like a festival, panel, like every little thing is picked apart. I definitely, it's a challenge, right? It's like, I don't know if I would want to do that. I don't know how many people would want to be scrutinized to that degree. And so as much fun as I had in some cases, watching it unfold, I'm also not one to take part in it. But it's been interesting how much there's been around this particular film, where all I know really is the memes and the commentary about Venice, and not really much about the movie itself.
Yeah,
And it's
which is, oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was going to say it's a bit unfortunate because I think it overshadowed the film. It's like, oh, that was just awful. It never won. Well, I don't know, because they say that, any press is good press. But I just feel like during the rollout of your film, you don't want this kind of like nonsense going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I think it's kind of interesting because that, all press is good press works to a certain degree. I mean, I actually think it might have helped box office because the box office, as Derek said, seemed to be pretty decent. It was an R-rated film, if I'm correct there. So I think it earned a good bit given its rating. Although I am notorious for misrating movies. So I always think there are when they're PG-13 or the other way around. That being said, I think it is on track to make its money back. So from that point of view, right, it is successful to a degree, maybe not the major success maybe Warner Brothers thought it might be, but it looks like it's going to make its money back.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you'd never guess that there's any issues like watching the movie. It seemed like the chemistry, like everyone seemed to do a really good job with the roles they were given, and it didn't seem like there was any awkwardness in the actual like acting or any of that. So and Olivia Wilde and Florence Pugh, they have a lot of scenes together, and I thought Harry Styles in that role was perfectly fine. So it definitely I think for that reason, maybe people will go see it just to see if there's anything to read between the lines. But if you didn't know any of that had happened, like you would never guess it from watching the movie.
Yeah. I also will say though, it is, I don't know any of these people individually. Maybe they're garbage people. Maybe they're great people. I don't know. But I do think it is interesting that, you have a female director. There's not many of them that are directing studio picks, and you see all this scrutiny and all this press kind of surrounding this movie. I think part of it is the relationship with Harry Styles as well seems to be a big part of that fuels it. So it may not just be the movie side of things, but you rarely do see like this kind of scrutiny for other films where there are, notorious clashes with directors and actors. That kind of stuff happens all the time. And so anyway, so I think this was a little bit excessive, maybe a lot excessive. I don't know.
It seemed like it, but man.
Okay, so as a follow-up question, crackers in our soup, yes or no? I'm a cracker man myself.
I think I like a little bread, like those little pieces of bread that you can dip. They sop up some of the soup. I think I like crackers, but I feel like sometimes the cracker will pick up some of the soup, and the soup just kind of falls off the cracker, and I lose most of it on the dip.
No.
What kind of cracker do you have?
You scrunch up.
Like Ritz crackers.
Oh, yeah. No, I've done that before.
No.
I've done that before, but then I feel like they get too soft. It's almost like mushy cereal. Like when you get mushy. I don't like mushy cereal. Oh no, I don't like mushy cereal.
Oh, tomato soup with like 18 pounds of crackers in it, and it's like you could patch your drywall.
Am I the only one who doesn't like mushy cereal? Tamika, are you a mushy cereal person?
No, because I eat Cheerios and I eat Frosted Mini Wheats dry.
I have to eat my cereal. Good. I have to eat my cereal, and I don't eat cereal very often, but when I do, I have to eat it before it gets super soggy. I can't do it. I can't do it.
See, I would do the opposite. I would actually wait. I would let my cereal growing up sit in the milk and let it get soggy before I would eat it sometimes, depending on what the cereal was.
Marinate
True,
that
true.
shit,
It
son.
depends on what it
Marinate
is.
it.
Oh no, I can't
True.
do that, and I can't drink the bottom cereal. I always call it cereal water.
That's
I can't
the best
do it. I
part.
can't do it. I
That
said,
is
you
the
have
best
That's what
part
you work
somehow.
for.
no, I just said I don't eat a lot of cereal. This is why.
Oh.
I don't like the mushy cereal. I don't like the nasty sugary milk at the bottom. I can't do it.
That's like sweet
Well, no, when you're a
nectar.
kid, it's different.
Can't do it.
You know, because oh my god,
No,
the things
no.
you would eat when you're a child.
Yeah, I can't.
Not
I
even
can't
if
do
it
it
was
now.
like cinnamon
I'm
toast
feeling
crunch.
very
would
sad.
you-
No. I can't do that.
I'm
Can't do
feeling,
it.
Oh.
feeling
You know what? Also, it's because it's warm milk. Maybe if it was like super cold, but by the time it's been sitting in there, it's like it's warm, extra sugary milk. No, I can't do it.
What do you mean warm?
It's-
What do you?
Yeah, it was like,
keeping
well, how
up
long
on
is
your
it taking to
sun deck or
eat?
something? 80 degrees.
You know, I feel like it's too. It's unusually warm.
There's your problem. It's spoiled.
No, it's too warm. Like by the time it's out there, I don't know. I feel like it's too.
If it curdles, Jonathan, don't eat it. Been
It's too
sitting
warm.
out. Christy, it's been sitting out for 3 weeks. Do you think it's okay?
I feel like it's pretty close to room temperature, and I don't like it. I mean, honestly, I haven't had cereal. I have cereal like once a year, and it's like coming up. I have around my birthday. I'll have like Count Chocula. I'm not. I don't eat a lot of cereal. I used to eat it every day. I barely eat
Frankenberry.
it.
Frankenberry.
I
It
got
is
some
good. We
Captain
do have
Crunch
some.
upstairs, man.
Does it
some
cut
Captain
up
Crunch
the roof
after
of your
this.
mouth? For some people,
Yeah.
I
like
hope so.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's
I
just
hope
the
so.
price you pay for deliciousness.
yeah,
There will be suffering.
yeah.
And Red
That's like-
40.
Mm-mm.
Half the fun of eating Captain Crunch is like, am I going to, that one you have to let it soak, or else you're just asking for like,
Wait, that's why I cut
Just
myself
scratching
up
up.
so much. I don't let it soak,
Yeah.
so I just eat it. It's like eating razor
Yes.
blades.
It's like
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Captain Hellraiser.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would be my Cenobite. What do you call
delicious,
it?
though.
Yeah, it would be a
But if
cereal
you-
based one.
But here's the thing: if you let the Captain Crunch marinate in that milk for a bit, get some of that golden goodness to seep off into the milk and just take you away to that milky wonderland. I'm telling you.
I feel like next time we meet up, we have to have a soup fest. And honestly, I'm thinking there's a spin-off here. I'm thinking we get cereal fest or something like it. I think we have a spin-off.
Right. Once we
Festival
have the
to Soup
roaring
Fest.
success with Soup Fest, we'll spin it off into Cereal Fest.
Well, I think basically Soup Fest is the rager, and when you wake up the next day, you're hungover from Soup Fest, and then it's Cereal Fest. It's a lot more chill. Maybe there's no winners. Maybe we're all winners because we made it through Soup Fest, and then maybe it's Cereal Fest.
I
'Cause you
like
know
that.
what?
I like that.
Because
a
you know
lot.
what? After a hard night of drinking, nothing beats a nice glass of milk.
Although the great thing about Soupfest too is that you get such a great base from all the soup that when you drink it, like doesn't affect you as much. Like you
Interesting.
have such a great, you like
That's
feel
right, because
invincible the next day.
Derek makes vodka soup.
He does. And I realize that I'm talking about cereal like I'm an
Yeah,
alien.
yeah.
I'm talking about cereal like
Yeah.
someone who's never eaten it. But this is how I eat
You're
cereal.
giving off like major Encino Man vibes.
I can't be the only person. If there's somebody else that's listening, if there's one person, just tag us on Twitter at
Do a
Corpse. I'll be like,
poll.
hey, I eat my cereal like not soggy. I don't like soggy cereal. There has to be
Who
someone
doesn't
else out
finish-
there.
Who doesn't finish the milk though?
I mean, this is one of those things where like it's never come up in conversation. So I mean, maybe it's not weird.
Good reason. it
Maybe it's
doesn't come
not
up in
weird. Yeah, I know. I might be the only one. I don't know.
Be ostracized.
I don't know if you're gaslighting me now or if this really is one of those things where I'm in the super minority. I don't know.
I just think it's weird. No offense.
No, I'm not offended. I mean, I've heard that I'm weird
It's
for my
just-
entire
no.
life.
It's weird. We're all weird.
We're all
Oh,
weird.
yeah. Oh, that's what I'm saying.
That's
yeah,
weird.
but that's
It's a given that we're weird. That's why we do this.
and I thought we were going to out Derek for being weird for Soup Fest, and I'm getting outed for my cereal habits or lack
Dry-ass
thereof.
Cereal.
I know.
Mhm.
Yep. but that's me. Give me those dry marshmallows in my.
Oh my gosh! So you're eating dry Lucky Charms?
No, I mean I don't.
just thought about wow.
When I was little, I probably had picked some of the marshmallows out of the box. Yeah, for sure.
And then they
Yeah, I'm with Derek
explode
there.
into
You gotta
dust.
let that seep.
Yeah.
You gotta let Lucky Charms.
Used to
seep.
put sugar.
Oh yeah.
No.
Used to put sugar on
Yep.
Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, I'm still holding strong. Yeah, I've always hated it. I need to eat my cereal as quickly as possible.
You want to talk sugar overkill, Jonathan? I used to put sugar on Frosted Flakes.
Whoa.
No.
Yeah.
Scotty boo.
Look at Derek's like, yeah, and watch cartoons, motherfucker. Yeah. That's right.
Hey, Tony.
You're great.
Yeah, that's like just double the fun right there. You're putting sugar on something that's already got sugar on it.
There was a Canadian cereal I used to eat. Is it Sugar Smacks? Is that the one?
Sugar.
Yeah,
that's right.
Oh, that is
and
good.
Corn Pops. Is Corn Pops more
Pops
Canadian? Yeah, I remember eating
Corn
that.
Pops.
Yeah.
Corn Pops. Are bliss.
Yeah, that's
They're
True,
great.
Corn Pops.
unfiltered.
Yeah.
That's the good stuff right there.
Put sugar on that. Put sugar on Corn Pops.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Well-
Well, we're making it to another. We know what the theme of this episode is. It's definitely the
Soup
soup
Fest.
and the cereal, Soup Fest, and
Soupfest.
and the cereal. But we do
Maybe
have
my-
one more topic, and that is that because we have to at least have 3 non-soup topics. I feel like otherwise we lose our membership. Heather will listen to this and she'll be like, "What the hell are you doing?" So Tamika, I know you saw Nope. We haven't we haven't had a chance to talk Nope. I don't know what you thought about it. I didn't even hear what Scott thought of Nope. I know what Derek thought, so I'm good with I'm good with you.
No,
Thanks for
Derek.
you.
Don't forget him. Okay.
But Tamika, what did you think?
I really not to, add to the hype train, but I really loved Nope. And I didn't expect it really anything because I tried so hard, been really good about avoiding trailers for the movies that I want to see.
Oh, and speaking of, we've all seen it. Everybody's had enough time to see it. So spoiler warning, if you haven't seen Nope, we can talk some Nope spoilers.
Yes. So I thought that by waiting it out and not seeing it in theaters, that maybe, it would be like you could rent it for maybe like, $6-7. But then it didn't even, go to like that rate, for rental. It just went to buy. So I bought it for $19.99. And that made me nervous. Like, oh, do I want to commit? Because I don't even know what this movie is about.
It's a big investment.
It's a big investment, but it was so worth it. I mean, got like science fiction and like UFOs. And then, so is the UFO, is the UFO the alien? Like, is it the alien itself? You know what I mean?
It's basically, as I saw it, was basically like Jaws in the sky. So yes, the UFO was the creature. Yes.
Yeah, and then it's like spitting out because at the beginning, right? When the UFO, it like Kiki. I'm not good at their character names, but Kiki Palmer and Daniel Kaluuya. Yeah. When because they own that like horse farm.
Yeah.
And so they're like talking. There's like an incident at the beginning where like the guy like looks up in the sky and then something like hits him in the head and it like goes through his eye or whatever. And I couldn't make out what that was. But what is that? It's supposed to be like a coin or something. So when the alien like eats you, it like wipes you up, right? Like sucks you up.
Yeah, I mean, it basically, as I took it, it was kind of excreting what it couldn't digest. It was just so high up that's why it did all that.
Right. So it was just spit out whatever, like, like the bones. Okay. You know how like animals do that when they eat other animals. They can't really digest those. So they just like, oh man, I because I thought it was gonna be like strictly horror, maybe like a trilogy, right? So it'd be like Get Out, Us, and then Nope. But no, this is like completely its own thing, and I like that because I don't want Jordan Peele to just keep making the same movie over and over. So they're always different. And they always have their own like colors and like personalities. I loved this. Oh man, I'm so glad I had no idea what I was getting into because I'm like, oh, okay. So because like the movie posters, they're all like looking up in the sky. I was like, oh,
Yeah, don't look up.
I don't get this, but I get it now. I'm like, oh, okay. I really enjoyed it. It's like I think it's gonna go on my favorites list.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, I'm glad you liked
I
it.
know. I give it almost a perfect score. I'm gonna
Ooh,
do it. 10 out of 10. I'm
10
doing
out
it.
of 10. Do it. Yeah. Scott,
Out of
what did
10
you think?
Tamikas.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 Tamikas.
So yeah.
I really dug it. It's I guess probably the first thing that I really liked about it is it's completely different from Us, which was completely different from Get Out. So he's not interested yet in making the same movie at all. Each are completely different. This one I thought is like this is his Spielberg summertime movie is what he's doing here. There's clear, homages to Jaws, character parallels. It's just it doesn't seem as grim as I guess the consequences of previous films, or it doesn't seem as intense. It plays out more as well. It plays out like Jaws. It plays out some scenes for suspense, and some scenes for action adventure. Right. I just thought it was really cool. Performances are great. Keke Palmer is wonderful. Yeah, it's just it's a movie. It's a summertime movie about partly about summertime movies and the idea of spectacle and going to the movies. And it's a cool movie.
And okay, can someone explain the chimp?
We talked about this a little bit. I think Derek and Brian and I, and we didn't have and I think one of the things I had talked about is that there's like, and I think it works here, but I think there's like a feeling that there's like more to the stories and characters that we've seen. And Jordan Peele did tease that he has more planned for this world. He did have, I do believe like the original cut was like 3:45, and then obviously cut it down to like around 2.5.
Wow.
So it seems like there was more there, but I think part of what he was showing was like this force that maybe you can't control, but then also it was like Stephen Yeun. Brian had brought up the point that like when he was his character when he was younger, he's like is able to like almost like relax the chimp and be able to get it to to touch his hand, and then it gets shot. And he kind of takes that, like that he has the ability, that calming ability, and also that trauma, and he takes it with him and thinks he can kind of do the same thing with this UFO to not such what do you call it to his own demise. And so I do think it was kind of, like I said, drawing on some of those parallels.
I love when you can. Again, he's one of those directors. You have to watch his movies like over and over. You pick up different things every time you do that. Like, oh wait, I missed that. So I'm gonna have to rewatch this now.
Yeah, this is definitely one that needs multiple viewings, and I've only seen it a
Yes.
couple times now. But yeah, it's I really had a lot of fun with it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not heavy. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I love Get Out so much, and I love Us, but I need a break sometimes from the heavy.
Oh yeah, I hear
stuff I
you.
watch, and it's just nice. It's a lot of levity too, and I'm like, oh, Bless you. Thank you. Jordan, I needed that.
And yet, at the same time, the idea of being sucked up by one of these UFO clouds is absolutely mortifying. Like when they show it going down, it's like, oh my God, that sounds like a horrible way to go.
Oh yeah, and you can hear them all screaming. And the thing is, like, because the stories you'll hear about, like people getting abducted by UFOs, they get experimented on, and then in many cases they get dropped off. Maybe they lost years of their life. Maybe they get dropped off in the wrong place. Maybe they don't remember what happened, but usually get picked up, you get probed, you get dropped off. So you're not thinking that you're going to get ingested by the UFO itself, which I thought was a really cool idea.
I'm
That
so
is
glad
very
that they
cool.
showed like that scene, like they showed you a little bit of what was going on, because it really would have been really easy for them to just like leave that part up to your imagination. They kind of do, but they like show you enough where it's like, okay, I am super horrified by what's going on inside the alien as he's literally like digesting these people. And then the way that like you can hear the screaming and then it just abruptly stops when
They should have like a voiceover with the Dyson guy doing a voiceover as everyone's being sucked up.
Oh gosh. It kind of reminded me too of like there's like a haunted hayride I've been to where there's like a doorway and it looks like there's nowhere to go, but it's actually like there's this like a little opening in the wall that's like it's like soft and you have to like crawl your way through it.
Oh, I've done those.
Like, yeah. So it reminded me of that and you, in the back of my head, like if you're claustrophobic, you start to think, well, what if this like keeps going on and I can't get out of this? And I felt like those people were trapped in like an endless maze of that type of like haunted attraction, which is really horrifying to think about.
Yeah. It was, that was a really great scene. There's a lot of great scenes. It is interesting that the Jordan Peele was inspired by, anime as well. You can see some of those references. At one point he was attached to Akira, but you can see Kiki Palmer at the end, that kind of like turn she does with the motorcycles from Akira. And the way the alien kind of opens up, I guess some of the points of reference for that was Evangelion. And those angels, which are all these, some kind, they all look different, but they have these like flowing shapes. Like the idea is like they are something ethereal. They're something that you can't really comprehend until you see it for yourself. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, the creature design it's so when you actually see this thing expand to its full size at the end of the movie, and it's so like majestic, and I could almost see how kind of the movie's tagline of is there such thing as a bad miracle, where you could see something like that and it seems so heavenly and like just majestic and peaceful, yet it's still trying to kill you. I thought it was really, really cool how there was like this whole third act reveal, because it was already kind of a twist that the UFO is a creature, and then they're like, oh, and by the way, it also does all this, and then it becomes this massive alien by the end of the movie. Yeah, no, it was great. So anyway, Tamika, I'm really glad that you liked it.
Me too. It was worth it. It was worth my $20.
And I'm glad you liked it too, Scott.
Thanks, man.
And Derek, I know that you liked it already, but I'm glad you liked it.
Wow, thank you.
Hey, Jonathan.
Jordan Peele.
Yes.
Jonathan?
Nope 2.
Yes, Scott.
Nope 2.
I'm glad you liked it too.
Oh, thank you, Scott. And yeah, we need, I think we're going to get some more Nope stuff. Maybe it's a Nope show. Maybe it's Nope 2, but I do feel like we'll get it. But with that being said, this episode's come to an end. This was an interesting episode. This took some twists and turns. This, we thought we were going to be just focused on soup for a little bit. We were focused on soup for a lot of bit. You might have thought it was just going to be soup. It got into cereal. You heard a little bit about Don't Worry, Darling. You heard a little bit about Nope, but, you stayed for the soup. We know you stayed for the soup. So we have our Halloween hangover. Derek, we're going to need a full report. If Zach and Sarah are listening, they know you're going to be there basically as a reporter, but we want all the details. We want to know how Soupfest went, who won, what soup you brought, how you placed. We want to know it all. And then and then Tamika and Scott, we'll find out how your Halloweens went and what costumes you had and how your screenings went, and we'll let you know how everything went over here. I'll be off for a couple of weeks, so hopefully there'll be episodes, but I'll be off for a couple of weeks.
I'm sure the mice will play while the cat's away.
I'm sure there might be more soup episodes. Who knows? We want to thank Brian, our engineer, for helping us out each and every episode, especially this one, because he's going to be listening to you like, what did they do? And as always, we want to thank our listeners, including those of you who have signed up for a Corpse Club membership. Make sure to visit corpseclub.com. You can check out all of our episodes. You can sign up to become a member. We have a membership card. Everybody gets one. We have a pin. We have a t-shirt. At the top level, you get to pick an episode. We can talk more soup. We could talk more cereal. We don't mind. We could do it. Don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Every rating and review really helps. You can find us on YouTube, Amazon, Spotify, and all of your favorite podcast providers. If you want to get in touch, we are at contact@corpseclub.com. On Twitter, we're at Daily Dead News. We're at Corpse Club. And on Instagram and Facebook, we are under Corpse Club as well. Thanks again for listening. And until next time, stay scary.